then he'd, become conscious of it when he does it unconsciously. It's just natural.
It's right. It's built in, because it was always built in, but it was taken away.
Yes.
I mean, not him, but
Ours
for other
was.
people.
Ours was, right.
The natural order of things was taken away, because we really are born pure.
Right.
And then things happen.
Right.
And there's lots of reasons for that. But there's so many, just going back to vibration, there's so many things that people can do if they're conscious of it to keep their vibrational from becoming completely tanked. Mm-hmm. And, some of it's as simple as putting on the right music.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I listen to music every day, and, I can go from being pretty, down to being up and dancing pretty fast.
And
in minutes.
You cannot have low vibration when you're up and dancing.
You can't.
You can't. It's impossible.
Right. It's impossible. So sometimes I think I got these guys that live next door, and I sort of just imagine them sometimes seeing this woman dancing past the window, acting like a crazy person. But hey, it helps me, stay up. And it's, I listen to those meditations not because I don't know that information, because I got the information.
Oh, yes.
I've studied it 1,000 ways. It's because repeating it keeps changing the structure of the brain.
Exactly.
And every time we learn and relearn and relearn, it strengthens the neural pathways. There's actually a protein synthesis that happens on the brain when we learn. So the repetition helps us to clean out the old stuff and build a strong neural pathway of the good stuff so that we automatically go to the good thoughts. Where, a lot of times if we have a day that didn't go well and we're tired is a way downer. It's a low vibrational level. We tend to go to the old neural pathways, to the deeper, older neural pathways. And that's where all the junk is stored that we, don't want to be living from. So sleep is another one that helps with a higher vibration. And some of these things are so basic we never think about how to make those things better. But if you're having problems sleeping and you're not getting enough rest, you're going to have a hard time keeping your vibrational level up. Unless, of course, you're a regular meditator. I know this is such a pesty thing because, you know what, meditation is in everything right now. But it's really the truth. Meditation changes our ability to rise to a higher vibrational level. And there's, reading positive things, being careful about what you watch on TV. Because if we're watching war, and blood, and people putting each other down, I will not watch a show that its systematic story is to make humans look like idiots. I just, it's like, no, are you kidding me? It is so bad for people to watch that, or I feel bad for the people that are in those kinds of shows. That, it's not about, it certainly has something to do with morals and ethics, but that's not the real reason. The real reason is it draws us down into a negative life pattern. And it draws us into self-centeredness because we start to feel bad and then we become obsessed about ourselves. Mm-hmm. We can't do what we could do in our world that we can when we feel happy. You have a lot more energy to give away when you feel happy.
Right. It's one good thing I must say about TV now is that you can pick what you want to watch.
I
mean, you always could, but if you're sitting there glued to the boob tube, that's what my dad used to call it, and you just mindlessly watch show after show, and guaranteed something is going to be demeaning or violent or abusive in some way. But now you could watch anything that you want. You could watch documentaries. You could watch the Food Channel. You could watch do-it-yourself things. And that's the whole thing. You're in charge of what you put in, and what you put in is what you put out. The quality of what you put in is what comes out. What you think about comes about. All those sayings that people say. One of my favorite quotes by Wayne Dyer is, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And when something is going wrong, and you feel it, it's all about feeling. When you feel it start changing, you stop. Stop and take a look at what's going on and change it. You can change it.
Yep, most of the time you can.
Dance.
Dance is, it's so good. Of course, I'm addicted to World of Dance. But anyway.
Is that a show?
It's a show.
Oh, I've not.
And it's really
quite
magnificent, actually.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. It's very
I'm addicted
fun.
to American Idol.
Well, I watch all those too. I know. Yeah. Because it's people striving to raise themselves up.
And you watch, American Idol is a really good lesson on vibration, because you see those people there come in, and some of them are very humble and so talented, but as they gain their confidence, their self-talk changes, and you can just see it in their demeanor and their voice and them.
Yes. Now,
it's amazing.
Yeah, no, it is amazing. And here's the other good news. When we raise our vibration, our emanations are different. Okay? Energy does not stay tied up in our body. It goes out. It goes out into the world. Our thoughts go out into the world. We emanate our vibration. Well, if our vibration is higher, if our thoughts are at a higher vibration, if our body is healthier, it's at a higher vibration. It has more strength to handle more energy. We're emanating that vibrational level out into the world that at this time appears to be quite wounded. And there is some research related to that subject around meditators and also around yoga students.
Oh,
which
right.
makes sense to me.
Yeah, because yoga really is meditation, more or less.
It is. In a lot of ways,
it involves your body as well.
Well, and the way it involves your bodies, it clears the blocks. That's what it does. So the energy moves more freely and fully through the system. So if peaceful thoughts and peaceful energy, those higher levels of frequency, are emanating into the community, there's actually a lower crime rate in those communities, that their crime rate drops. There was also a piece of research in a prison setting up a meditation program, and these people had serious crimes like, say, murder. But, they volunteered for the program because it gave them a little change of pace in their life. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what happened?
Wow.
These
that would be a huge
men became peaceful. They just so loved what they were doing, and they went from quite violent people to being able to handle their emotions, and it helped them to mature, so they were much peaceful. And what do you think the state did?
Took it away.
Yes, they did.
Why?
Well, my theory is because a lot of people are making a lot of money on crime. And a lot of these prisons are now privately owned, and they want them filled. So it went.
Interesting.
Because they thought it wouldn't work.
But it did.
But it did. And there's a videotape out, and I can't think of the name right now. But, it's those kinds of things that as a people, as a life form, we need to learn to embrace and stand up for, rather than allowing these negative systems to keep dragging us down and dragging us down and dragging us down. Because that's not what we were meant to be.
Right.
People are not natural-born criminals. Now, there's a little question like that with psychopathy, but that's, a small group of people, relatively small group of people, and I'm learning to reconcile some of that. Because, Paramahansa Yogananda and a number of the biblical texts suggest that everyone has a pure spirit, and that when we return from this body, we are then functioning from our pure spirit.
Right.
Now, it's hard on this earth to see some people as even possibly having a pure spirit, but they, in their ways, they've become so wounded that people who are beaten, people who are always negated, people who are there's thousands of things, rapes that are so horrifying, wars that are so horrifying. It takes people's earth spirit down so low that they can't function from it at all. Mm-hmm. Okay, that would be your psychopath. Mm-hmm. Some of our want cultural bias creates a lot of sociopaths, where they're not so excited about killing, but they will if it gets them something.
Right.
That's not what they're driven to do, but they're driven to get things they think will satisfy them. But it never can, because what truly satisfies people is what's at the top of that list.
Right.
Right? Read that top one again.
Joy, knowing, empowerment, freedom, love, appreciation. So whenever you ask somebody what they want, those words are in there. I mean, one of those words is in there.
For some people, not sociopaths.
Right. Well, right. Although they may want it, they just go about getting it the wrong way.
Yeah, it could be. Yep, that's possible. Usually they want things and power.
Empowerment.
That's
right.
Empowerment, which is
but that's
different.
Self, not
right.
Power. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Power to manipulate things is not the same as.
But they may a twisted mind may
Empowerment.
think that, though.
Yes. Well, you know what? We teach it.
Oh, right.
In our culture, we teach it. And we're not the only culture, but, man, we're masters at it. We definitely teach people to want things.
And that's right. But, on the other hand, it's okay to want things. It's okay as long as you are happy with the way things are right now. So you can't blame it. You can't say, when I get a new car, I'm going to be happy. When I get $1,000 extra a month, then I'm going to be happy. You can't be like that. But you can say, I'm going to keep working and servicing and doing the things that I need to do to get this $1,000 extra every month so that I can.
Whatever it might be.
It's different.
Absolutely. Well, when wanting a material thing becomes an obsession and that's your attachment, you're way out of balance. Right. When a material thing is part of your life and your happiness, and it wasn't gotten through, greed and avarice, heck, it's part of your beauty.
And one of the things about raising vibration is that those things do come to you if you stay on the path, on the high vibration.
Well, and that is true. But it's the Americans that they always have to put that second thought in. But material things really are good, and you stay on this path, it will come to you, which still puts it at the top of the list, as opposed to wanting peace,
right?
Wanting beauty, wanting balance, wanting a secure faith in creation and creator. I think true happiness comes from wanting those things, and then filters down into the material world. But we always go to the material first. As Americans, we were trained to do it. We almost can't help it.
Yeah, and there's that whole status thing.
Huge. That people who are successful are the ones who have things, lots of things. Oh, she's successful because she's got that swimming pool, or they're successful. But people who are kind are the successful people.
Right, and yet not and judged is a horrible word too, but not judged that way by society.
Right.
You are not judged on your vibration by society.
No.
You are judged by what you have, which is sad.
Yes.
That's